45? Yeah, right up next to Barnabas. And as he's running, bonus action healing word to Ivar in Dwarven, get up! And then as I'm there next to Barnabas, I am going to hold out that new holy symbol and say, we're here to help. And he will invoke duplicity.
Duplicity.
And another echo will appear on the other side of Barnabas.
Multiform! He is going to take a moment and consider joining Echo like on the front line, and then he will make a very difficult decision to sort of back off and preserve himself.
Yeah, little illusion Echo is like gesturing him to back.
So he's going to step back into the center of the clearing that his guards are making for him, and he's just going to kind of look around and be ready for the next attack.
Do you think you shoring up the front is worth you dying?
I do. I think what we are protecting here is more important than any one dwarf's life.
Then we should go.
I wasn't attempting to bring any of you along. You have all done so much already.
You're not shaking.
I've already been forging. I am here to help.
And then hop up, put a kiss on his cheek, and then run over to Calder to get on his broom.
Echo.
Yeah?
One moment. As you're leaving,
Keep it for public consumption, you kids.
He extends a hand to you, and in his hand is a small pouch. And he says, you and I should probably speak at some point when the battle is over. For now, hang on to this. He puts a pouch into Echo's hand. When you pick it up, it feels like a rock. It feels like there's a rock in there.
Yeah, we all know what that is.
Like a literal rock.
Mm-hmm. Echo clocks that, but there's a battle going on. He doesn't look at it. He stores it in a belt pouch and says, I'll see you at dawn. Echo's gonna look in that fucking pouch. He's gonna be like as he's running, he's gonna look in.
Because this is an important detail in this
We're not there yet. We're running to there.
So you pull out the pouch, you open it
The
up.
heart wants what the heart wants.
As you pull it out, it is a stone a little bit bigger than your standard 20-sided die. It is definitely rough and has like minerals around the edge. As you kind of get a closer look and maybe almost trip, you see that underneath the sort of grime, there is a pale green stone.
It's rough, almost an uncut gem, you might say.
One might say.
He closes it, tightens it, puts it back in the belt pouch. Sees us running alongside Ghost. Okay, can't think about that right now. Giants. So, I know he botched the history roll, but what kind of gem is it?
Gotta know.
It's
I need to know for drawing reference.
It's an emerald.
Sure is green.
It's an emerald?
It's an emerald, yeah.
Then he's going to start organizing people like, okay, we need a new crossbeam for the door. We need, let's get the injured taken care of, more arrows up onto the thing. Like, it's not over just because we shut the door. Like, he's trying to do it in a deep dwarven voice. I don't know how convincing he is.
Give me a performance.
Can I give the aid?
You can take advantage on this because you have been, studying Barnabas for a while, as it were.
Yep.
Can I aid it by loudly following the instructions with phrases like, yes, of course, King Barnabas. Right
Yes.
away, King Barnabas.
Oh, yeah, people fall right in line. At first, they just kind of are gaping at you, right? Because King Barnabas is a lot of things. He is not a monk.
No.
So watching him flip and shit on the top of the wall, at first they have to physically pick their jaws up off the floor, but then as the authority in your voice compels them, they go back to their duties, very excitedly whispering to each other about what King Barnabas just did over there.
So I know we're in the middle of a fight right now, but can I get some advice from you, Sven?
He looks a little bit confused, but he will continue to listen.
So I know what giving and getting an uncut gem means. It's a way to start dwarven courting. I know that much.
Yes.
That's about the extent of my knowledge of any dwarven courting.
We are not in particularly the right situation to be having this discussion. Perhaps getting to the point would be advantageous.
How does one say yes when you're given an uncut gem? Do you have to do something with the gem?
And he kind of squints at you and he says, why do you ask?
Ghost is like, show the rock.
Thank you, random mercenary I've hired. I'm Barnabas. And he pulls out the pouch and shows it to Sven. But Barnabas handed me that.
Before he's able to, like, rein in his expression gets very dark for a moment. And then he clearly masters himself. And he says, am I to ascertain that this was given to you by our king?
Yeah, he handed it to me like 5 minutes ago.
The usual response is to cut the gem, and that signifies that you are willing to go forward with some sort of courtship. I will say this to you. If you break my brother's heart, I will hunt you down.
Echo puts the pouch back away.
You understand, of course, the implications. You are a goblin. You don't have a great deal of life expectancy.
Yeah, like, how long do dwarven courtships usually last? Like, are we talking decades here?
Oh, I'm certain that an exception can be made in this case. But yes, in general, decades.
Sven, I'm flying fucking blind here. I'm gonna be honest with you. We've been flirting, and I thought, we'll just keep flirting, because, like, I love the guy, but he's a fucking king, and then he hands me this. I don't know anything about being a king or a king's courtship partner, whatever the fucking... I don't know the word for it!
The general nomenclature is consort.
Right? Like,
It will be a scandal, but King Boulder Shoulder has never been afraid of scandal. I think this is something we should discuss further when we're not under immediate danger of extinction.
That's kind of the feeling I had, but I also, didn't want to leave him just, without an answer. Is there a way to, without cutting the gem and committing to a courtship, is there a way to say, I'm interested, let me get back to you? That's not, super rude?
The cutting of the gem is not a marriage proposal. The cutting of a gem is simply I don't even know if there's an analog in goblin culture. It's simply
Sven, the goblins I come from don't get married. It's not a thing. I am flying very blind here.
Cutting the gem is simply a sign that the feelings are reciprocated. It is not a binding agreement.
Okay, that is very helpful. Thank you. I hope you know that I wouldn't ever hurt him on purpose.
I know that you would not hurt him on purpose, but I fear. We are in a tenuous position, and courting a goblin... Unorthodox is far, far too weak a word.
I'm here to help you guys get your new home. We can talk later, but if courting me puts that in jeopardy, then that's another thing to consider too. He's standing on the very, front of the wall looking at what was the middle of the battleground. Without his normal grace, scrambles and jumps off of the wall, down, and he starts getting to the closest body. It's probably an orc, and he starts trying to see if they're alive. He doesn't seem to be caring about all of these dwarves that are looking at him in awe.
Barnabas will step out of the crowd and begin firing off orders. Find those that can be saved, and those that can't be saved, ensure that they won't be used against us. For a moment, the entire dwarven assembly holds its breath, then goes about their business. But for a moment, their sole focus is on Echo as he immediately goes and performs his act of mercy.
He's spending most of his time, since waking back up again, ritually casting gentle repose on as many corpses as he can.
A note delivered by one of the shield dwarves that Barnabas would like a quick conference.
We'll finish up the corpse he was working on. Thank him. He chooses to go change out of the bloody clothes he's wearing and then goes and finds Barnabas wherever he was directed that Barnabas was waiting to talk to him.
You are able to meet Barnabas in a sort of small private tent. When you come in, his first expression is one of relief. Are you, I suppose it's silly to say, are you hurt? Are you seriously hurt?
I'll recover from all of this. Magic has its uses. I love you. I hope you know that by now.
Yes, but it's good to hear.
I'm sure you know that goblins live in decades, not centuries.
That was a consideration. It's something I've been thinking about a lot. And that is why I gave you the stone. Because, yes, our time together may be brief, but I would rather spend that brief time with you. I would rather be with you for a short time than be without you for the rest of my life.
Echo runs across the tent and just flies into his arms and kisses him. After a bit of that, he pulls back and says, I have no idea how to cut a gem. I've never touched a jeweler's kit in my life.
I do, and I feel like we have a mutual friend that could guide your hand a little bit. And I believe we happen to know a goblin that, if it comes to it, has very loudly and constantly professed that she does weddings. But let's not think of that just now.
Not yet.
You made a big impression on my family. You made a big impression on my clan and those that follow me this evening, or yesterday evening. What is time? But a dwarven king and a, for very much lack of a better term, common goblin. Not that there is...
It was a war chief for a day.
Not that there is anything, not that there has ever been anything common about you. I would like to take you to the forge, and I would like to create this thing together. And then we can decide what to do next. Is that amenable to you, Echo?
It is. And there's a lot we should talk about in regard to this. Like, ignoring all the fucking world ending out there. I have a boyfriend and also a girlfriend and also there's many people who I continue to love in my life, and we should talk about that sort of thing. And, like, what does that mean to you and this and courting? But let's do this gem cutting thing.
Didn't you know? I'm a dwarf. I am polyhamorous.
Oh, Christ.
As Echo is admiring the work that he and Barnabas and Durgadim were able to create together, it begins to float in the air between him and Barnabas. The stone lifts up until it is more or less just above Echo's eye line, but it begins a slow orbit of your head, and as it does, you feel absolutely suffused with the confidence that Barnabas has in you. You, for a moment, see yourself the way Barnabas sees you, as reckless and ridiculous, but also the single most steady and solid thing that he has in his life. You are filled with the confidence that you are a warrior, you are a friend, you are worthy. This is an Ion Stone of Mastery.
The Forge asks a lot from those who use it. And I know you are very tired. So
I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm so excited. I want to go show off this rock.
You're excited, but you're going to fall like a stone soon, except for the one buzzing around your head. Is it going to make noise? Like, are you going to lay down and it's going to go tink, tink? Oh, if you lean in to kiss him, is it going to hit him in the crowd? Tink, tink, tink.
Let's go find out.
Oh my god.
And he runs out of there. It's legendary level!
You punched it in the Forge of Fury with the help of fucking Durgadim? Yes, it's gonna be legendary.
Holy crap.
The dwarf like you so much. The dwarf like you so much.
So much.